Warning! This game contains mature content. If you're above 18, then welcome. If not, then please have an open tab in case for unwarranted guests. Alright, let's begin. She Will Punish Them is an adult RPG set in a fantasy world featuring very curvature succubuses. Now, we don't normally review these type of games, but we were handed a review copy, and how could we say no to a scrumptious game? So here we are, reviewing a game that's not safe for work. It's not pornographic, just a lot of eye candy. Right, so what is this game besides masturbation for the eyes? Well, you take control of a succubus that you can customize into your ultimate waifu. You take your waifu on quests to dominate the world map, grind experience points, gather in-game currencies, and find armors and lingeries. There are two currencies you collect: gold and crystal. Gold is used to buy armor, weapons, and items. Crystals are used to buy lingerie, unlock parts of the castle, or purchase a palace. All of this baked into a Diablo and Dynasty Warriors hybrid that for the most part works. With this being an early access game with a very rough launch back in 2020, but has seen major improvements because the developers are listening back to feedback. With that stated, let's begin. She Will Punish Me, I mean them, has combat similar to Dynasty Warriors, with you blowing your way through hordes of enemies. Combat is simple, fluent, and easy to get into. There is a nice variety of weapons to experiment with to see what fits your playstyle. You can also dictate your style by spending attribute and skill points. Attribute points affect your character's health, stamina, strength, and magic points. Skill points can be placed into physical attributes, magic, weapon proficiency, and other buffs. This amount of experimentation does make combat enjoyable and replayable. However, there are some aspects that hold it back. Sure, the combat is fluent and experimental, but it can get repetitive. Majority of gameplay is whacking away hordes of enemies with little variations of missions. It's either save a champion or commit mass genocide. There is a decent variety of enemies to help keep it from growing stale, except they are for the most part pushovers. Pushovers aren't fun to fight and don't demand the player to experiment. 90% of combat was me pummeling everyone into submission with the same 2-hit combo. If I could actually land the hits, instead of looking like an inexperienced combat virgin, combat is tainted by technical issues. There have been plenty of times where I feel like my weapon's made out of ghost. I would see my weapon go through enemies, yet they didn't receive any damage. The annoyance of this grew rapidly. Another annoyance is the power strikes. I stopped using the power strikes because my character would charge up, and 9 out of 10 times, she would zip by them and barely be out of their reach. Or she would get disoriented and can't decide who to thrust upon. Yet, despite all that, I stuck with it. Why? Well, that has to do with This is where the Diablo aspect shines through. When you're done dominating your opponents, they'll splurge money, potions, armors, weapons, and lingerie. If you are tired of being blue-balled or beamed by modern AAA games skipping out on the fun, sexy outfits and armors because they are problematic, then She Will Punish Them has you covered. Armor in this game can make you look badass and extremely sexy. I found myself saving armor pieces purely because I love the way they look. Every armor piece is color-coded like Diablo. Gray is worthless, while all the other colors are worth examining. However, if your current armor piece don't suit you, you can always turn it off and have them be something more comfortable. This game hands out lingerie and armor like it's candy on Halloween night, which is why I stuck with this game for a while. It's very rewarding to play, so it becomes the sugar to go down with the repetitive combat. The armor and lingerie also feeds into the game's best feature. I have to admit, I got taken by surprise on the amount of depth in the character customizer. I'm not kidding that you can create your ultimate waifu because of how extensive the customization is. Half your playtimes will be spent on this. The cherry on top, you can unlock partners that have the same level of customization as your main. Sadly, the cherry does have a pit in it. As you progress through the campaign, you rescue champions to aid you in your world domination. They could aid you if they had a single brain cell. I can't stress this enough. The AI is terrible. Investing in giving them bows are a waste of time. If they run out of ammo, then they will squat and let themselves be gangbanged to death. Even when you give them another weapon to use, they won't swap out. Also, their pathing is garbage at times, getting stuck on stairs, hills, or something higher than a pebble. The AI companions need a lot of attention, but not as much as... they are boring, lifeless, and empty. Where's the villagers, interior designs, and visual storytelling? Some areas look okay-ish, but most are forgettable. Giving a strong impression that character customization got all the attention, while environmental design was malnourished. The only places that look good are the palace and castle, only because you can customize them to your heart's content. I couldn't think of a good segue into this section, so we are going to jump straight into it. Before I wrap things up, here are a couple of suggestions that could improve the game. Share an XP skill. Grinding up your AI partners can be cumbersome, especially due to their lack of intelligence, so getting a share XP skill would mitigate that. Add a story. No need for a huge bombastic cinematics, just something to flesh out the world and story. Dialogue exchanges, notes, item descriptions, or visual storytelling. Something to motivate us besides the lands belong to us. Finally, change the soundtrack. The music for the castle and palace are fine, but the battle music? Why is it scary? It's woefully out of place. Overall, She Will Punish Them is a sexy, fun distraction for those who are looking for something spicier. The character customization is extensive and fun, combat is fluent and easy, even though it's a little repetitive, and the loot can definitely hold people. However, the AIs can be moronic, the environments are bland and forgettable, the story is non-existent, and there are technical problems. Check it out if you like. The game is only $15 and the developers are constantly improving the game by listening to feedback. Thanks for watching. This is the Horror Connoisseur, signing out.